Chapter 1. Lena Carter's apartment in Brooklyn buzzed with the hum of city life, car horns, distant sirens, the faint thrum of her neighbor's TV through the thin walls. She sat cross-legged on her couch, laptop balanced on her knees, tweaking a logo for a client who'd already sent 3 passive-aggressive emails about brand alignment. Her phone vibrated, skittering across the coffee table. An unknown number. She ignored it, focusing on the screen, but a sharp knock at the door jolted her. Lena Carter? The voice was deep, unfamiliar, carrying an edge of authority that made her pause. She set the laptop aside and approached the door, peering through the peephole. A tall man stood in the hallway, his dark hair tousled, eyes sharp even through the distorted lens. He wore a leather jacket, too rugged for the city, and held an envelope in one hand. "Who's asking?" Lena called, her voice steady despite the unease creeping up her spine. "Elias Kane. I'm here about your father." Her father. The word hit like a stone. Lena hadn't seen Marcus Carter in years, not since she was a kid, when he'd left her and her mother with little explanation. She'd built a life without him, burying the hurt under work and routine. She opened the door a crack, chains still in place. "What about him?" Elias's gaze locked onto hers, unyielding. "He's dead, and you're needed back home." "Home?" Lena's laugh was sharp, bitter. "I don't know what you're selling, but I haven't spoken to my father in over a decade. Try again." He didn't flinch. Instead, he slid the envelope through the gap. "Read this, then we talk." Lena hesitated, then took it. The paper was heavy, sealed with a wax crest, a crescent moon. She broke the seal, unfolding a letter written in her father's jagged handwriting. "Lena, if you're reading this, I'm gone. The Crescent Moon Pack needs you. You're my heir, whether you know it or not. Come to Oregon. Elias will guide you. Trust him, but trust your instincts more. Marcus." "Pack?" Lena's voice rose, incredulous. "What is this, some kind of cult? I'm not going anywhere." Elias leaned closer, his voice low. "Your father was no ordinary man, Lena. Neither are you. The Crescent Moon Pack is your birthright, and without you, it'll tear itself apart. Civil war, bloodshed. You want that on your conscience?" She stared at him, heart pounding. His words were insane, yet something in his tone, calm, certain, made her pause. "I have a life here, a job, friends. And they'll still be here when you return," Elias said. "But if you don't come, there won't be a pack left to save. You have until tomorrow morning to decide. I'll be outside." He turned and walked away, leaving Lena clutching the letter, her world tilting. She spent the night pacing, rereading the letter until the words blurred. By dawn, curiosity and a nagging sense of duty won out. She packed a bag, left a vague voicemail for her boss about a family emergency, and found Elias waiting in a black SUV outside her building. "Ready?" he asked as she slid into the passenger seat. "No," Lena said, buckling her seatbelt. "But let's get this over with." The drive to the airport was quiet, the city fading into a blur. On the plane to Oregon, Elias spoke little, only hinting at the pack's history, a community hidden in the forests, bound by ancient traditions. Lena's questions met curt answers, and by the time they landed, her patience was thin. "This better not be a waste of my time," she muttered as they drove into the dense woods of rural Oregon, the road narrowing until it was barely a path. "It's not," Elias said, his eyes fixed ahead. "You'll see." Chapter 2. The Crescent Moon Pack's territory was a world apart from Brooklyn. Towering pines loomed over a cluster of cabins, their wooden facades blending into the forest. The air was thick with the scent of earth and sap, and a strange energy pulsed through Lena, like a heartbeat she couldn't place. Elias led her to a central clearing where a crowd waited, their eyes sharp and wary. "Welcome to the Crescent Moon Pack," Elias said, gesturing to the group. "Your father's people." A tall man stepped forward, his broad shoulders and piercing green eyes commanding attention. His dark hair was cropped short, and a scar traced his jaw, giving him a rugged edge. "Lena Carter," he said, his voice a low rumble. "I'm Rowan Blackwood, beta of this pack. We weren't sure you'd come." "Didn't have much choice," Lena replied, meeting his gaze. "You going to tell me what this is all about, or do I have to guess?" Rowan's lips twitched, not quite a smile. "You're direct. Good. You'll need that." He turned to the crowd. "This is Marcus's daughter. She's here to claim her place." Murmurs rippled through the group. A wiry man with sharp features, Cale Draven, stepped forward, his eyes cold. "A half-human? Leading us? Marcus must be rolling in his grave." "Enough, Cale," Rowan snapped. "She's his blood. That's what matters." "Is it?" Cale shot back. "She's city-bred, soft. She'll break before the week's out." Lena's fists clenched. "Keep talking, and we'll see who breaks first." The crowd stilled, some smirking, others glaring. Rowan raised a hand, silencing them. "She's here. She gets a chance. That's the law." Elias guided Lena to a cabin for the night, but dinner in the communal hall was a tense affair. The pack watched her every move, their whispers like knives. A young woman, Mira, offered her a drink, her smile kind but nervous. "It's just water," Mira said, catching Lena's hesitation. "Thanks," Lena said, taking the glass. She sipped, then froze as a bitter aftertaste hit her tongue. Her vision blurred, her throat tightening. She dropped the glass, shattering it, and stumbled back. Rowan was at her side in an instant, catching her arm. "What's wrong?" "The drink," Lena gasped, her voice hoarse. "Something's in it." Mira paled, shaking her head. "I didn't, I swear." Rowan sniffed the spilled liquid, his face darkening. "Nightshade. Someone poisoned it." He scanned the room, his voice a growl. "Who served this?" No one answered, but Cale's smirk didn't escape Lena's notice. Rowan helped her to a chair, his hand lingering on her shoulder. "You're lucky it was a weak dose. You'll be fine." "Lucky?" Lena coughed, anger flaring. "Someone tried to kill me." "And they failed," Rowan said, his tone steady but fierce. "You're still here. That's what counts." As the pack dispersed, Lena's mind raced. One day in, and she was already a target. This place was no home. It was a battlefield. Chapter 3. The meeting hall was a cavernous space, its walls lined with carved wooden panels depicting wolves under a crescent moon. Lena stood before the pack's elders, 5 grizzled figures seated at a long table. Rowan stood to her left, Elias to her right, while Cale and his supporters lingered at the back, their eyes like daggers. Elder Mara, a woman with silver hair and a voice like gravel, spoke first. "Lena Carter, you claim the title of Alpha, but your blood is diluted. Half-human, untrained. Why should we accept you?" Lena straightened, her nerves masked by defiance. "I didn't ask for this, but my father chose me. That's got to mean something." "It means nothing if you can't lead," Cale called out, his voice dripping with disdain. "You don't even know our ways." "Then teach me," Lena shot back. "Or are you scared I'll learn too fast?" A few pack members chuckled, but Mara's expression didn't soften. "Your father was a great alpha, but his death was no accident. Poison, we suspect. If you're to lead, you must prove your strength and uncover his killer." Lena's stomach twisted. "Poison. Like the drink last night. You think it's someone here?" Mara's eyes narrowed. "We think many things. Prove you're worthy and we'll share more." Rowan leaned in, his voice low. "They're testing you, Lena. Don't give them a reason to doubt." The elders outlined 3 trials: strength, endurance, and leadership. Fail any, and the pack could reject her, opening the door for Cale or another to claim Alpha. Lena nodded, her jaw tight. "When do we start?" "Tomorrow," Mara said. "Prepare yourself." Outside, Lena's legs felt unsteady as she walked with Rowan through the village. The forest loomed, its shadows alive with unseen eyes. "They think I'm a fraud," she said. "And someone wants me dead. Great start." "You're still breathing," Rowan said, his tone lighter now. "That's more than some expected." She stopped, facing him. "Why are you helping me? You don't even know me." Rowan's gaze softened, just for a moment. "I knew your father. He believed in you. That's enough for now." Before she could press further, a deafening crash echoed through the square. A massive chandelier in the hall shattered on the floor where Lena had stood moments before. Rowan had pulled her back just in time, his arm around her waist. "Coincidence?" Lena asked, her voice shaking. Rowan's eyes scanned the rafters. "No such thing here." He released her, his expression hardening. "Stick close to me, Lena. You're not safe." Chapter 4. The forest at night was a cathedral of shadows, moonlight filtering through the pines. Lena stood in a sacred grove, the pack gathered in a circle around her. The air thrummed with energy, making her skin prickle. Tonight was the ritual of the first shift, a rite every pack member faced to awaken their wolf. Lena's heart pounded. She hadn't even known she had a wolf until yesterday. Elder Torin, a bear of a man with a braided beard, led the ceremony. "The moon calls your blood, Lena Carter. Let it rise or it will tear you apart." "Comforting," Lena muttered, earning a glare from Kale. Rowan stood nearby, his presence steadying. "Focus on your breath," he said quietly. "Feel the forest, it's in you." Lena closed her eyes, trying to ignore the pack's stares. The air felt alive, pulling at something deep inside her. Pain sparked in her chest, sharp and sudden, spreading like fire. She gasped, dropping to her knees. "Don't fight it," Rowan said, crouching beside her. "Let it come." "Easy for you to say," Lena hissed through gritted teeth. Her bones ached, her skin too tight. The pain surged, and she screamed as her body began to change, hands lengthening into claws, teeth sharpening. Her vision shifted, colors sharpening, sounds amplifying. She was wolf, then human, then wolf again, the transformation chaotic. "Breathe," Rowan urged, his hand on her shoulder. "You're stronger than this." The pack watched, some with awe, others with skepticism. Kale's voice cut through the haze. "She's weak. Look at her struggle." "Shut up, Kale," Mira snapped, surprising Lena. "She's doing it." Lena's vision cleared as the shift stabilized. She stood, unsteady, in wolf form, sleek, silver-furred, her eyes glowing amber. The pack murmured, some nodding in approval. She felt powerful, alive, but the effort left her trembling. Rowan shifted beside her, his wolf form massive, black-furred and regal. He nudged her gently, guiding her to run. They moved through the forest, the pack following, their howls echoing. Lena's instincts took over, the world a blur of scent and sound. Back in the grove, she shifted back, exhausted but exhilarated. Rowan, human again, caught her as she stumbled. Their hands brushed, and a jolt ran through her, a warmth, a pull, like a thread tying them together. His eyes widened, and he stepped back. "What was that?" Lena asked, breathless. Rowan's jaw tightened. "Nothing. Just adrenaline." She didn't believe him, but before she could push, Torin approached. "You've passed the first shift, but the trials ahead will be harder." As the pack dispersed, Lena caught Kale watching her, his expression unreadable. The mate-like pull with Rowan lingered, but so did the weight of danger. Someone wanted her gone, and she was only beginning to understand the stakes. Chapter 5. The council chambers were stark, lit by flickering torches. Lena stood before the elders, her body still aching from the shift. Rowan and Elias flanked her, but Kale's presence at the back felt like a storm cloud. The elders had called her early, the first trial looming. Mara spoke, her voice cutting. "The Alpha must be strong in body, mind, and will. Your first trial is tomorrow. A test of strength against one of our warriors. Prepare, or you'll fail. Who's my opponent? Lena asked, her voice steadier than she felt. Gideon, Mara said. One of our best. Rowan's expression darkened, but he said nothing. Outside, he pulled Lena aside. Gideon's brutal. He won't hold back. Great, Lena said, rubbing her temples. Any tips, or should I just hope for a miracle? Train with me, Rowan said. You're fast, smart. Use that, not just muscle. They spent the day in a clearing, Rowan teaching her to channel her new wolf strength. His movements were fluid, precise, and Lena couldn't ignore the way her pulse quickened when he corrected her stance, his hands brushing her arms. Focus, he said, catching her staring. Or Gideon will eat you alive. Romantic, Lena quipped, dodging his mock strike. Kale interrupted, striding into the clearing. Training with the beta? Cozy? The pack's talking, Lena. They think you're too close to him. Let them talk, Lena snapped. I'm here to lead, not win a popularity contest. Kale smirked. You'll need more than bravado to survive Gideon. Or me. Rowan stepped between them. Back off, Kale. She's got enough to deal with. Kale's eyes glinted. Protective, aren't you? Wonder what Marcus would think. That night, Lena couldn't sleep. She slipped out, wandering to the pack archives, a dusty room filled with leather-bound tomes. She searched for answers about her father's death, finding a journal with his handwriting. One entry chilled her. There's a traitor among us. I don't know who, but they're close. A noise made her spin. Kale stood in the doorway, his smile cold. Curious, are you? Be careful what you dig up, half-blood. Threatening me again? Lena asked, closing the journal. Just advice, Kale said, stepping closer. Some secrets are better left buried. She held her ground, but his words lingered as he left. Back in her cabin, she replayed the day, the poison, the chandelier, Kale's taunts. The pack was a maze of loyalties, and she was only beginning to navigate it. Tomorrow's trial would test more than her strength. It would test her will to survive. Chapter 6. The morning sun filtered through the pines, casting dappled shadows across the Crescent Moon Pack's village. Lena Carter walked the dirt paths, her boots crunching on gravel, trying to shake the unease from last night's encounter with Kale in the archives. His cryptic warning, "Some secrets are better left buried," echoed in her mind, mingling with the weight of her father's journal entry about a traitor. She needed allies, but trust was a rare commodity here. Mira, the young pack member who'd served her the poisoned drink, approached hesitantly, her freckled face flushed. "Lena, I swear I didn't know about the nightshade. I'd never—" "I believe you," Lena said, cutting her off. She softened her tone. "You didn't make the drink, did you?" Mira shook her head, eyes wide. "No, it came from the kitchen. I just carried it." "Then help me figure out who did," Lena said. "You know this pack better than I do. Who's close to Kale?" Mira glanced around, lowering her voice. "He's got friends. Darius, Celine, a few others. They follow him like he's already alpha. But I've seen him talking to someone in the woods at night. Not one of us." Lena's pulse quickened. "A rival pack?" "Maybe," Mira said. "I didn't get close enough to see." Before Lena could press further, Rowan Blackwood appeared, his broad frame cutting through the morning mist. "You're up early," he said, his green eyes scanning her face. "Trouble sleeping?" "Trouble trusting," Lena replied, crossing her arms. "Kale was in the archives last night, acting like he owns the place. You know anything about that?" Rowan's jaw tightened. "He's always poking around. Thinks he's entitled to everything your father built." "Entitled enough to kill him?" Lena asked, watching his reaction. Rowan's gaze flickered, but he didn't answer directly. "Come on, we're training for your trial. You can't afford distractions." They headed to a clearing, where Rowan ran her through combat drills. His movements were precise, almost predatory, and Lena struggled to match his speed. "You're holding back," he said, blocking her strike. "Your wolf's stronger than this. Let it out." "Easy for you to say," Lena panted, dodging his counter. "I've had my wolf for, 2 days?" He grinned, a rare flash of warmth. "And you're still standing. That's more than most." Their session was interrupted by a scream. Lena spun, heart racing, as Mira stumbled into the clearing, blood trickling from a gash on her arm. "Lena, it was a trap in the woods." Rowan was at Myra's side in an instant, checking her wound. "What happened?" "I followed Darius," Mira gasped. "He was setting up something, ropes, spikes. It's meant for her." She nodded at Lena. Lena's blood ran cold. "Another assassination attempt." "Show me," she said. Rowan grabbed her arm. "No, it's too dangerous." "I'm not hiding," Lena snapped, pulling free. "If someone's trying to kill me, I want to see it." They followed Mira to a narrow trail where a crude trap lay hidden, taut ropes rigged to spring a net of sharpened stakes. Lena's stomach churned. "This isn't subtle," she said. "They're getting desperate." Rowan knelt, inspecting the ropes. "This is pack work, someone who knows our trails." His voice was low, angry. "I'll find out who." That night, in her cabin, Lena couldn't shake the image of the trap. Rowan stayed close, insisting on guarding her door. "You don't have to babysit me," she said, leaning against the frame. "I'm not," he replied, his voice softer now. "Your father saved my life once. Pulled me out of a rogue attack when I was a kid. I owe him this." Lena studied him, the scar on his jaw catching the moonlight. "You don't talk about him much. Why?" Rowan hesitated, his eyes distant. "He was complicated. A good alpha, but he kept secrets. Even from me." "Secrets like me?" Lena asked, half joking. He didn't smile. "Yeah, like you." The weight of his words settled between them, and Lena felt the strange pull again, that thread connecting her to him. She pushed it down. She couldn't afford to get distracted, not with a trial tomorrow and a traitor in the shadows. Chapter 7. Rowan's cabin was a stark contrast to the pack's communal spaces. Simple, cluttered with maps and weapons, a single lantern casting warm light. Lena sat on a wooden chair, her muscles sore from another day of training. Rowan had insisted she come here to strategize for the trial, away from prying eyes. The air between them crackled, charged with something unspoken. "You're getting better," Rowan said, tossing her a water skin. "Gideon won't go easy, but you can outsmart him." Lena took a sip, wiping her mouth. "Outsmart a guy who's been a wolf his whole life? Sure, no pressure." He chuckled, leaning against the table. "You've got instincts, Lena. Trust them." She met his gaze, and that pull surged again, warm and insistent. It was more than attraction. It felt primal, like her wolf recognized him. She stood, closing the distance. "What's happening between us, Rowan? Don't say it's nothing." He stiffened, his eyes darkening. "It's the mate bond. Rare, but it happens. Your wolf's waking up and it's choosing." "Choosing you?" Lena's voice was sharp, skeptical. "I don't even know you." "You know enough," he said, stepping closer. "But it's dangerous. If the pack thinks you're leaning on me, they'll see you as weak. Kale's already spreading rumors." "Screw Kale," Lena snapped. "I'm here to lead, not play politics." "It's not that simple," Rowan said, his voice low. "The bond clouds your judgment, mine too. If we give in, it could cost you the pack." Lena's breath caught as he stood inches away, his scent, pine and earth, overwhelming. She wanted to close the gap, to let the bond take over, but Kale's voice echoed in her mind, taunting her about weakness. She stepped back. "Then we don't give in. I need to focus." Rowan nodded, but his eyes lingered on her lips. "Good choice, for now." A knock interrupted them. Elias stood at the door, his face grim. "Lena, the pack's talking. Kale's saying you're too close to Rowan, that you'll hand him the alpha title. Let them talk, Lena said, her voice hard. I'm fighting for this, not him. Elias raised an eyebrow. Just be careful. Kale's not just talking, he's planning. That night, Lena lay awake, the mate bond's pull warring with her resolve. She couldn't afford to lose focus, not with Gideon's trial looming and Kale's schemes tightening around her. She clutched her father's journal, its pages a reminder of the stakes. Whoever killed him was still out there, and she was running out of time to find them. Chapter 8. The sacred grove was alive with tension. The pack gathered in a tight circle around a dirt arena. Lena stood at its edge, her heart pounding as Gideon, a towering warrior with a shaved head and arms like tree trunks, cracked his knuckles. The elders watched from a raised platform, Mara's gaze unyielding. This is a test of strength, Mara announced. Defeat Gideon or yield. Lena glanced at Rowan, who gave her a subtle nod. Use your head, he'd told her. He's strong, but he's not clever. Gideon grinned, his teeth bared. Ready to lose, city girl? Ready to shut you up, Lena shot back, earning a ripple of laughter from the crowd. The fight began with a blur of motion. Gideon charged, his fists swinging like hammers. Lena dodged, her new wolf reflexes barely keeping up. He was relentless, but she noticed his patterns, wide swings, heavy steps. She ducked under a punch, aiming a quick jab at his ribs. He grunted, surprised, but didn't slow. You're fast, he growled, but not fast enough. Lena's muscles burned, her breaths ragged. She couldn't match his strength, but she could outmaneuver him. She feinted left, then rolled right, kicking his knee. He stumbled, and she seized the moment, tackling him to the ground. The crowd gasped as she pinned him, her arm across his throat. Yield, she hissed. Gideon struggled, then went still, his eyes narrowing. Fine, you win. The pack erupted in cheers and murmurs. Mara stood, her expression unreadable. You've passed the first trial, Lena Carter. But strength alone won't make you alpha. As the crowd dispersed, Lena caught Kale's glare. He leaned close to Darius, whispering, and she knew he'd had a hand in something. Later, in the arena, she found a small blade hidden in the dirt. Gideon's, meant to tip the fight. Kale's sabotage. Rowan joined her, his face dark. He's playing dirty. You need to watch your back. I am, Lena said, pocketing the blade. But I need more than warnings. I need answers. Chapter 9. The pack archives smelled of dust and old leather, the air heavy with secrets. Lena pored over her father's journals, her eyes burning from hours of reading. The entries were cryptic, filled with references to pack politics and a shadow within. One line stood out. The poison came from inside. I trusted too much. She slammed the journal shut, frustration boiling. He knew someone betrayed him, she said to Mira, who'd joined her. But he didn't name them. Mira fidgeted, glancing at the door. Kale's been meeting with that outsider again. I heard him last night, near the river. He mentioned your father's death. Lena's blood ran cold. What did he say? Not much, Mira admitted. Just that it worked too well, I didn't hear the rest. Lena stood, pacing. I need to confront him. Not yet, Rowan said, stepping into the room. He'd been listening from the doorway. You need proof, or he'll turn it against you. You keep saying that, Lena snapped. But you're holding back too. What aren't you telling me? Rowan's jaw clenched. I'm trying to protect you. Protect me by lying, Lena's voice rose. My father trusted you, and he's dead. Start talking, or I'll assume you're part of this. Rowan's eyes flashed with hurt, but he nodded. Fine, your father suspected Kale was working with the Blackthorn Pack. He didn't have proof, so he kept it quiet. Told me to watch him. And you didn't think to tell me? Lena asked, incredulous. I didn't want to scare you, Rowan said. You're already a target. Lena laughed bitterly. Too late for that. Mira cleared her throat. There's more. I found this. She handed Lena a folded note, tucked inside another journal. It was her father's handwriting. If I fall, the traitor is closer than you think. Protect Lena. Lena's hands trembled. He knew he was going to die. Rowan stepped closer, his voice soft. He wanted you safe, that's why I'm here. Lena met his gaze, the mate bond tugging at her. She pushed it down. Then help me find the truth. No more secrets. Chapter 10. The pack's annual hunt was a tradition, a test of unity and instinct. Lena stood at the edge of the forest, the pack gathered in wolf form, their eyes glowing under the twilight sky. She felt her own wolf stirring, eager to run. Rowan, in his black furred form, stood beside her, his presence grounding. Elder Torin addressed the pack. The hunt binds us. Prove your place, Lena Carter. Kale, his gray wolf form lean and menacing, bared his teeth. She'll slow us down? He growled, his voice carrying through the pack's telepathic link. Then keep up, Lena shot back, her wolf voice sharp. The hunt began, the pack surging into the forest. Lena ran with Rowan, their movements synchronized, her senses alive with the scent of pine and prey. They tracked a deer, its heartbeat a drum in her ears. She leaped, her jaws snapping, and brought it down with Rowan's help. The pack howled in approval, but the moment was cut short. A snarl erupted behind her. Rogues, wolves not of the pack, burst from the shadows, their eyes wild. Lena dodged a snapping jaw, her heart racing. Rowan tackled one, his growl ferocious, but more came. Lena fought, her claws raking, but a rogue's teeth grazed her flank. Rowan was at her side, taking down the rogue. Stay close, he barked. The pack rallied, driving the rogues off, but Lena's side bled, her breaths ragged. Back in human form, Rowan bandaged her wound, his hands steady but his eyes worried. This wasn't random, he said. Rogues don't attack like that without a reason. Kale, Lena said, her voice hard. He's behind this. We need proof, Rowan said, but his tone held less conviction now. Lena looked at him, the mate bond flaring despite the pain. Then we get it, together. As they returned to the village, the pack's cheers felt hollow. The hunt had been a victory, but the rogue's attack was a warning. Kale's shadow loomed larger, and Lena knew the next trial would test more than her skills. It would test her ability to survive a pack tearing itself apart. Chapter 11. The pack healer's den smelled of herbs and antiseptic, a sharp contrast to the forest's wild scent. Lena sat on a wooden bench, her flank bandaged from the rogue attack during the hunt. The wound stung, but it was nothing compared to the questions burning in her mind. Rowan sat across from her, his shirt stained with her blood, his face etched with worry. The healer, an older woman named Clara, worked silently, her hands deft as she applied a salve. You're lucky, Clara said, breaking the silence. The rogue's teeth missed anything vital, but you need rest. Rest? Lena scoffed, wincing as she shifted. Someone's trying to kill me, and I've got a trial in 2 days. No time for rest. Clara's eyes flicked to Rowan. Then you'd better keep her alive, Beta. Rowan's jaw tightened. I'm trying. Lena studied him, the mate bond humming beneath her skin despite her efforts to ignore it. The rogue attack had been too coordinated, too bold. Kale's involvement was almost certain, but Rowan's evasiveness about her father's death gnawed at her. She waited until Clara stepped out, then leaned forward. You saved me out there, Rowan. Again. But you're still hiding something. My father trusted you, so why won't you trust me? Rowan ran a hand through his dark hair, his scar catching the lantern light. It's not about trust, Lena. It's about timing. You're already a target. Dumping everything on you now could get you killed. Keeping me in the dark could get me killed, Lena snapped. You said my father suspected Kale. What else did he tell you? About the poison? The traitor? Rowan's eyes darkened and he stood, pacing the small room. Marcus was paranoid near the end. He thought someone close was working with the Blackthorn Pack. He didn't have proof, just feelings. He told me to protect you if anything happened to him. That's all I know? That's all? Lena's voice rose, sharp with frustration. You were his beta, his confidant. And that's all you've got? Rowan stopped, turning to face her. His voice was low, raw. I failed him, Lena. I didn't see it coming. The night he died, I was out patrolling. By the time I got back, he was gone, poisoned. I swore I wouldn't fail you too. Lena's anger faltered, replaced by a pang of sympathy. She stood, ignoring the pain in her side, and closed the distance between them. You're not failing me. But I need the truth, Rowan. All of it. He held her gaze, the mate bond flaring, warm and insistent. There's one thing, he said finally. He left a message for you, hidden in his study. I didn't tell you because I wasn't sure you were ready. Then I'm ready now, Lena said, her voice firm. Show me. Rowan hesitated, then nodded. Tomorrow, after you're healed. It's not safe tonight. Lena wanted to argue, but the exhaustion in her bones won out. She sank back onto the bench, her mind racing. The rogue attack, Cale's whispers, her father's message. Everything pointed to a conspiracy deeper than she'd imagined. And Rowan, despite his secrets, was the only one she could almost trust. Chapter 12. The mountain cliffs loomed over the Crescent Moon territory, their jagged edges stark against the gray sky. Lena stood at the base of a steep trail, the pack gathered around her for the second trial. Endurance. The task was simple but brutal. Navigate the cliffs to retrieve a sacred relic at the summit, all while facing the elements and the terrain's dangers. The elders watched from a distance, Mara's silver hair glinting in the wind. You've got this, Rowan said, his voice low as he adjusted her climbing gear. Stay sharp, the cliffs are treacherous and Cale's not above sabotage. Lena nodded, her stomach twisting. Any advice besides don't die? He smirked, but his eyes were serious. Trust your wolf. It'll guide you when your head's spinning. Cale approached, his gray eyes cold. Hope you're ready, half-blood. These cliffs have broken better wolves than you. Then why don't you try it? Lena shot back, her voice steady despite her nerves. Or are you just here to gloat? Cale's smile was thin. I don't need to prove myself. You do. The trial began with a blast of a horn. Lena climbed, her hands gripping the rough stone, her wolf senses sharpening her balance. The wind howled, tugging at her clothes, and loose rocks skittered under her feet. Halfway up, she heard a snap. A rope bridge she'd just crossed collapsed, its cords sliced clean. Sabotage. Damn it, Lena muttered, her heart pounding. She pressed on, her muscles burning. Near the summit, she found the relic, a small moon-shaped stone. But as she reached for it, a shadow moved. Darius, Cale's ally, lunged from a crevice, a blade glinting in his hand. Lena dodged, her wolf reflexes kicking in. Really? She growled, tackling him. They grappled, stones crumbling beneath them. She landed a punch, knocking the blade free, but Darius was stronger. He pinned her, his breath hot against her face. You're done, city girl, he snarled. A shout echoed. Mira, the young pack member, appeared, wielding a branch. She swung, catching Darius off guard, and Lena seized the chance, shoving him off the ledge. He caught himself scrambling away, but the relic was hers. Back at the base, the pack cheered as Lena presented the stone. Mara's nod was grudging. You've passed the second trial, but leadership is next. Don't get cocky. Mira approached, panting. I saw Darius sneaking up the trail. I followed him. Lena gripped her shoulder. You saved me. Why? Mira hesitated. Cale's dangerous. He's got ties to the Blackthorn Pack. I heard him talking about a deal. Your father's death was part of it. Lena's blood ran cold. Tell me everything. Later in her cabin, Lena relayed Mira's words to Rowan. Kale's working with the Blackthorn Pack. Mira heard him. It's not just rumors anymore. Rowan's face darkened. We need to be careful. Confront him now, and he'll twist it. We need proof. Lena nodded, but the weight of Myra's revelations settled heavily. The second trial was over, but the real danger was just beginning. Chapter 13. The lake glimmered under the moonlight, its surface a mirror of stars. Lena sat on its shore, her boots off, toes skimming the cold water. The trials, the attacks, the secrets, they were suffocating her. She needed a moment to breathe, to think. Rowan had followed her, his presence a quiet anchor. You shouldn't be out here alone, he said, sitting beside her. His voice was soft, but his eyes scanned the shadows. I needed air, Lena said, staring at the water. This place, it's too much. Everyone's watching, waiting for me to fail. You're not failing, Rowan said. You've survived 2 trials. You're stronger than they think. She turned to him, the mate bond tugging at her heart. And you? What do you think? Rowan's gaze softened, and for a moment, he wasn't the guarded beta. I think you're exactly what this pack needs. But you scare me, Lena, the bond. It's hard to fight. Her breath caught. The pull between them was undeniable, a warmth that made her want to forget the trials, the traitor, everything. Why fight it? She asked, her voice barely a whisper. Because you're the alpha, he said, his tone heavy. If we give in, Kale will use it to tear you down. He's already spreading lies about us. Let him, Lena said, leaning closer. I'm tired of playing by their rules. Rowan's hand brushed hers, and the bond flared electric. He leaned in, their lips inches apart, and Lena's heart raced. But Kale's voice echoed in her mind, accusing her of weakness. She pulled back, her chest tight. I can't, she said. Not yet. I need to prove myself first. Rowan nodded, his jaw clenched. I know, but it's not easy, Lena. They sat in silence, the lake lapping at the shore. Mira's words about Kale and the Blackthorn Pack lingered, and Lena knew she couldn't ignore them. Mira said Kale's deal involved my father's death, she said. If it's true, I need to stop him. Then we stop him, Rowan said, his voice firm. But we do it smart, together. Lena looked at him, the bond a quiet hum between them. She wanted to trust him fully, but his secrets still lingered. For now, she'd focus on Kale, and the third trial that could decide her fate. Chapter 14. The meeting hall was packed, the air thick with tension. Lena stood before the pack, the elders at her back, as Kale stepped forward, his voice ringing out. Lena Carter is unfit to lead, he declared. She's a half-human, clinging to the beta for strength. She'll drag us into ruin. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Lena's fists clenched, but she kept her voice steady. If I'm so weak, Kale, why are you so scared of me? The pack laughed, but Kale's smile was cold. Scared? I'm protecting this pack. You're a liability and everyone knows it. Rowan stepped forward, his voice a growl. You're the liability, Kale, stirring trouble while Lena's passing trials you couldn't. Kale's eyes narrowed. Careful, Beta, your loyalty to her looks personal. The accusations stung, and Lena saw doubt flicker in some pack members' eyes. She raised her hand, silencing the room. Enough. I'm here to lead, not bicker. Kale, if you want the title, challenge me properly. Or shut up. The elders nodded, and Mara spoke. A challenge can be issued after the trials. For now, Lena remains the heir. Prepare for the final test. Outside, Lena pulled Rowan aside. He's not stopping, he's got something planned. Rowan nodded, his face grim. I found something in the archives, a ledger. It shows payments to an outsider, signed with Kale's mark. It's not proof of murder, but it's close. Lena's heart raced. Show me. In the archives, Rowan handed her the ledger. The entries were vague, but the dates aligned with her father's death. "This is it," Lena said. "He's been working with someone outside the pack." Before they could dig deeper, shouts echoed outside. A fire had broken out in the training grounds, and Lena's instincts screamed ambush. She and Rowan raced out, finding the area in chaos. Cale stood nearby, his expression too calm. "You did this," Lena accused, stepping toward him. "Prove it," Cale said, smirking. "Or focus on your trial. You're running out of time." Rowan pulled her back, his voice low. "He's baiting you. Don't give him the satisfaction." That night, Lena found another note in her father's study, hidden in a false drawer. "The traitor wears a friend's face. Protect the pack, Lena." Her heart sank. Rowan had sworn to protect her, but his secrets, and the bond, made her question everything. The final trial was tomorrow, and Cale's move was coming. Chapter 15. The ancient ruins stood at the edge of the territory, crumbling stone pillars draped in moss. The pack gathered for the final trial, leadership. Lena was to lead a mock battle, commanding a small team against a larger force led by Gideon. The elders watched, their judgment final. Mara outlined the rules. "Lead your team to victory, Lena Carter. Show us you can unite and command." Lena's team, Mira, Elias, and a few others, stood ready, but she felt the weight of their doubt. Gideon's team was larger, stronger, and loyal to Cale's influence. Rowan, barred from participating, stood on the sidelines, his eyes locked on her. "Don't overthink it," he told her earlier. "Your wolf knows what to do. Trust it." The battle began with a clash of wolves. Lena shifted, her silver fur glinting, and led her team through the ruins. She used strategy, sending Mira to flank while Elias drew fire. Her team moved as one, outsmarting Gideon's brute force. But midway through, a trap sprung. Nets hidden in the underbrush ensnared half her team. "Cale," Lena growled, sensing his hand. She rallied her remaining fighters, using the ruins' cover to outmaneuver Gideon. In the final push, she leaped, pinning him in wolf form. He yielded, and the pack roared. Mara stood, her voice carrying. "You've passed the trials, Lena Carter. You've earned the right to be alpha, unless challenged." Cale stepped forward, but before he could speak, Lena felt a strange warmth, like a whisper in her mind. Her father's spirit guiding her. She held up a hand, silencing Cale. "I'm ready," she said, "for whatever comes next." Rowan joined her, his voice low. "You did it, but Cale's not done." "I know," Lena said, her eyes on Cale's retreating form. "And neither am I." The trials were over, but the real fight, for the pack, for the truth, was just beginning. Her father's message echoed. The traitor was close. Lena would find them, even if it meant facing the bond, and the secrets she could no longer ignore. Chapter 16. The training grounds were a mess of churned earth and broken weapons, the air heavy with the scent of sweat and pine. Lena Carter stood at the center, her silver wolf fur matted with dirt from a grueling session. The final trial was behind her, but the pack's tension was palpable. Cale's challenge loomed, and his allies were growing bolder. Rowan Blackwood sparred with her, his movements fluid but restrained, his black-furred wolf form a stark contrast to hers. Their chemistry was undeniable, the mate bond a constant hum beneath her skin, but every glance from the pack felt like a judgment. "Focus, Lena," Rowan said, shifting back to human form, his chest heaving. "You're telegraphing your moves. Cale will exploit that." Lena shifted too, wiping sweat from her brow. "I'm trying, but it's hard to focus when half the pack thinks I'm sleeping my way to the top." Rowan's jaw tightened, his green eyes flashing. "Let them talk. You've proven yourself. They're just scared of change." "Scared or not, Cale's planning something," Lena said, glancing at the sidelines where Darius and Celine, Cale's loyalists, watched with smirks. "That fire in the training grounds wasn't an accident." Before Rowan could respond, shouts erupted. A group of pack members stumbled into the clearing, dragging a bloodied figure. Elias, his face bruised, one arm dangling uselessly. Lena rushed to him, her heart pounding. What happened? Elias grimaced, his voice hoarse. Kale's people ambushed me near the river. Said it's a warning, for you. Rowan growled, his fists clenching. They're testing you, Lena, showing they can strike anywhere. Then let's strike back, Lena said, her voice hard. I'm done playing defense. Mira appeared, her freckled face pale. Lena, I found something. Tracks near the river. Blackthorn Pack scent. Kale's meeting them again. Lena's blood ran cold. The Blackthorn Pack, her father's suspected killers, were closer than she'd thought. She turned to Rowan. You said my father left a message in his study. I need to see it, now. Rowan hesitated, then nodded. It's risky. Kale's watching every move. Then we move fast, Lena said. In the study, hidden behind a panel, Rowan revealed a carved wooden box. Inside was a letter in Marcus's jagged handwriting. Lena, if you're reading this, the pack is yours. The traitor is one of us, tied to the Blackthorn. Trust your heart, but guard it. The bond with Rowan is your strength, but it could be your downfall. Lena's throat tightened. He knew about the bond? Rowan looked away, his voice low. He sensed it before you were born. Warned me it could complicate things. And you didn't tell me. Lena's voice rose, the bond flaring with her anger. How many more secrets, Rowan? I'm sorry, he said, stepping closer. I wanted to protect you, but I can't fight this anymore. His hand brushed her cheek, and the bond surged, warm and overwhelming. Before she could pull away, he kissed her, fierce and desperate. For a moment she gave in, the world fading. A crash broke them apart. Darius burst in, a blade in hand. Cozy, he sneered. Kale will love this. Rowan tackled him, but Darius fought back, slashing Rowan's arm. Lena shifted, her wolf form lunging, pinning Darius. Where's Kale? She growled. Darius laughed, blood on his lips. Too late, Half-Blood. He's coming for you. Rowan tied Darius up, his face grim. This is it, Lena. Kale's making his move. Lena's heart raced, the bond still tingling. Then we end this, together. Chapter 17. The hidden cave was damp and cold, its walls slick with moss. Lena and Rowan crouched inside, hiding from Kale's forces after Darius's attack. The pack was fracturing, and Kale's coup was in motion. Whispers of his allies rallying spread through the village. Lena clutched her father's letter, its words burning. The traitor is one of us. We can't stay here long, Rowan said, his arm bandaged from Darius's blade. Kale's got half the pack riled up. They think you're too weak to lead. Then I'll prove them wrong, Lena said, her voice steady despite the fear gnawing at her. But first, tell me everything. No more secrets. Rowan sighed, his eyes heavy. Your father found evidence Kale was selling pack secrets to the Blackthorn Pack. Payments, meetings. He was building an alliance to take over. Marcus confronted him, but Kale denied it. The next day, Marcus was dead. Poisoned. Lena's fists clenched. Why didn't you tell the elders? No proof, Rowan said. Kale covered his tracks. I've been watching him since, waiting for him to slip. And you didn't think I could handle that? Lena asked, her voice sharp. I didn't want you to die, Rowan said, his voice breaking. I love you, Lena. Bond or not, I can't lose you. The words hit her like a tidal wave. The mate bond flared, binding them tighter, and Lena felt her resolve shift. She took his hand, her voice soft. I love you too, but we can't let this stop us. Kale killed my father. He's not taking the pack. Rowan nodded, his grip tightening. Then we expose him. The ledger, Myra's intel. We've got enough to turn the pack against him. A rustle outside made them freeze. Mira's voice whispered through the cave entrance. "Lena, it's me. Kale's calling a meeting. He's challenging you tonight." Lena stood, her wolf stirring. "Good, let's end this." They slipped out, moving through the forest. Mira led them to a hidden vantage point overlooking the meeting hall. Kale stood before the pack, his voice booming. "Lena's failed us. She's a half-human, too weak to lead. I challenge her for alpha." The pack murmured, some cheering, others hesitant. Lena stepped forward, her voice cutting through. "You want a challenge, Kale? You've got one. But first, tell them about the Blackthorn pack. Tell them how you poisoned my father." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Kale's eyes narrowed. "Lies. You have no proof." "Then explain this," Lena said, holding up the ledger. "Payments to the Blackthorn, signed by you, and witnesses who saw you meeting them." Mira stepped forward, trembling but resolute. "I saw him. He planned Marcus's death." Kale's face twisted. "You'll regret this, half-blood." Lena met his gaze, the bond with Rowan strengthening her. "Bring it on." Chapter 18. The pack arena was a circle of packed earth, ringed by torches and the pack's watchful eyes. Lena stood at its center, her heart pounding as Kale faced her, his gray wolf form lean and menacing. The ritual challenge for Alpha was simple: fight until one yielded or fell. The elders, led by Mara, watched from a stone platform, their faces unreadable. "You're out of your depth," Kale growled, circling her. "This pack needs strength, not a city girl playing wolf." "Then prove it," Lena said, shifting to her silver wolf form. "Or are you all talk?" The pack roared as the fight began. Kale was fast, his claws raking her flank, but Lena was quicker, her training with Rowan paying off. She dodged, striking his shoulder, drawing blood. The mate bond pulsed, giving her strength, as if Rowan's will flowed through her. From the sidelines, Rowan shouted, "Use your speed, Lena! Wear him down!" Kale lunged, but Lena rolled, biting his leg. He howled, retaliating with a vicious swipe that caught her ear. Blood dripped, but she didn't falter. She feinted, luring him into overextending, then tackled him, pinning him to the ground. "Yield!" she snarled, her jaws at his throat. Kale struggled, then went still, his eyes wild. "You think this ends it?" he hissed. "I killed Marcus, poisoned his wine. The Blackthorn paid me to weaken the pack. And I'd do it again." The pack gasped, outrage spreading. Mara stood, her voice thunderous. "You confess, Kale Draven." Kale laughed bitter. "Yes, and you'll all fall without me." Lena tightened her grip, then released him, shifting back. "He's yours," she said to the elders. "I'm done with him." The pack surged forward, restraining Kale as he thrashed. Mara nodded. "You've won, Lena Carter. The title is yours." Rowan rushed to her, pulling her into his arms. "You did it," he whispered, the bond warm between them. Lena leaned into him, exhausted but triumphant. "We did it." Chapter 19. The pack gathered in the meeting hall, the air thick with anticipation. Lena stood before them, her wounds bandaged, her silver hair loose around her shoulders. The elders crowned her alpha with a crescent moon pendant, its weight both heavy and grounding. Rowan stood at her side, his presence steady, their mate bond no longer a secret but a strength. Mara addressed the pack. "Lena Carter is your alpha. She's proven her strength, her endurance, her leadership. Who stands with her?" The pack roared, even those who doubted her. Mira beamed, Elias nodded proudly, and even Gideon, her former opponent, clapped. Kale's allies, Darius and Celine, were absent, banished with him to face pack justice. Lena stepped forward, her voice clear. "My father built this pack to protect, to unite. I'll honor that. But there's a threat out there, the Blackthorn pack. Kale was their pawn, but they're not done. We need to be ready." A murmur of agreement spread. Rowan leaned in, his voice low. "You're a natural. Marcus would be proud." Lena smiled, but her thoughts were on the future. Later, in her father's study, she found another hidden note. "The Blackthorns seek the Crescent's power. Guard the prophecy, Lena." She showed it to Rowan, her brow furrowed. "What prophecy?" "I don't know," he said, his hand on hers. "But we'll find out, together." They stood together, the bond a quiet strength. The pack was hers, but the fight was far from over. Chapter 20. Dawn broke over the Crescent Moon territory, painting the forest in hues of gold and pink. Lena stood on a hill overlooking the village, the crescent moon pendant cool against her chest. Rowan stood beside her, his hand brushing hers, their bond a steady pulse. The pack was gathering below for her first meeting as Alpha, their voices a hum of hope and uncertainty. "You ready for this?" Rowan asked, his green eyes warm. Lena laughed softly. "Not even close, but I'm doing it anyway." He grinned, squeezing her hand. "That's why you're Alpha." They descended to the meeting hall where the pack waited. Lena took her place at the head, her voice steady. "We've lost a lot, my father, our trust, but we're stronger together. The Blackthorn pack is coming and we'll face them as one." Mira raised her hand. "What's the plan, Alpha?" Lena smiled at the title. "We train, we scout, we find out what the Blackthorn want. My father left clues, a prophecy. We'll uncover it and we'll protect this pack." The pack cheered, their unity palpable. After the meeting, Lena and Rowan returned to the study, searching for more of Marcus's notes. Tucked in a book, Lena found a final message. "The Crescent's heir holds the key to the moon's heart, a power the Blackthorn crave. Lead with courage, Lena. The war is coming." Lena handed it to Rowan, her voice firm. "Whatever this moon's heart is, we'll find it first." He nodded, his eyes fierce. "And we'll fight for it, side by side." As they stood together, the dawn bright, Lena felt her father's legacy and the bond with Rowan anchoring her. The Blackthorn loomed, but she was no longer the city girl who'd stumbled into this world. She was the Alpha, and with Rowan as her mate and beta, she was ready for the war ahead.